Hi guys, the Metal Maniac back again, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review on the album The Door to Doom by Candlemass. This is their most recent album. It came out in 2019, and it's their first album in years to feature their original vocalist, who was on their first album but then left for a long time. Yeah, so first let me name off the band members really quick. Hold on. This for some reason doesn't say in the back. Um. That's odd. Wait a second. Oh, that's so weird. Oh, there it is. I was looking at the wrong one. Um. Jonathan Landquist on vocals, Lars Johansson on lead guitar, Mepe Bojorkman on rhythm guitar, Leif Edding on bass, and Jan Linde on drums. Also, there is a guitar solo cameo by Tony Iommi on one of the songs. But I'll get to that when I get to that. Sorry, it's just hold on. It's weird because the credits you would usually find on like a separate sort of sheet of paper or on the back of the album case, but instead they're on the lyric sheet for some reason. On the first lyric sheet, anyway. Anyway, so the first song on this album is called Splendor Demon Majesty. A very great way to start off the album. Very epic, very atmospheric. It has this really cool sort of almost unearthly, eerie choir in sort of the midsection of the song. Not only that, but there's this really cool, really eerie guitar riff that's plays alongside the sort of eerie choir that keeps in perfect rhythm and tune of the choir. Like, so the choir's going on, and then like the guitar riff goes along with that in perfect rhythm and tune, and it creates another layer to the sound of this song. And it's just so cool. A really great guitar solo as well, and the vocals are amazing. Although I will say the title is kind of odd. Splendor, Demon, Majesty. It just sounds like three different separate words that don't really, aren't really meant to go with one another. It almost feels like I mean this is not the case, but it feels like they just like put like uh, 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 it's like they chose the words randomly. Like it's like they chose them from a random word generator or something. Like they hit a button. First word came up splendor. Second word came up demon, and third word came up majesty. Because even though the song's great, the title is just very odd, and it doesn't feel natural. It feels like they just tried to make a title out of like a random word generator or something. But yeah, other than the weird title, the song is amazing. The song itself is amazing. Great way to open the album. The next track is called Under the Ocean. This one starts off actually kind of slow, to the point where you first expect it to like maybe be a ballad, but then it picks up right away to this sort of epic sort of kind of song. Very good. And then near the end, it slows down again. So it's a really cool sort of like it plays with your expectations because it starts off slow, goes into this really big, bombastic, epic midsection, and then slows down near the end again. But yeah, very cool sort of thing to the song. Um, very, I wouldn't say it's melodic, but it is sort of, it has a whimsical feel to some of it. Alright, sorry, I'm trying to get this back in the sleeve. I always hate, like, plastic sleeves for vinyl that are, you know, ridiculous, and the fact that they're loose enough to where you could just barely fit in the vinyl. Um, I'm just gonna leave that off for now. Stupid. They make them like loose enough to where they just barely fit, and then too tight to where like it's really hard to get them out. Yeah, I'm not gonna even bother right now. Sorry about that. Anyway, um, but yeah, Under the Ocean, great song. Um, and then the next song is Astrolius, the Great Octopus. This one is really cool. It sets up some kind of strange mythos. Like it almost feels like like the creature in the song, just the way they talk about it. It almost feels like some kind of like Cthulhu kind of creature. Um, but yeah, great song. This is the song that features a guitar solo from Tomi Iommi, of course, best known for being the main guitarist in Black Sabbath. Although I do think that Tony Iommi is a very overrated guitarist, but that's a topic for a whole different video. But yeah, a great song, another very epic song. Um, but yeah, the next song is a ballad. It's called Bridge of the Blind. Now, I'm not usually a fan of ballads, but this one works very well. It doesn't really interrupt the flow of the album whatsoever, and it has sort of a whimsical feel to it, especially with the vocals. The vocal performance on this song is it really draws you in, and I think that's what really works about this ballad is the vocals. They're very whimsical, but at the same time, kind of not really sad, but like the emotion in it, paired with the whimsical nature, just the overall performance, the vocals just draw you in, and it's just a very engaging, really cool ballad. Um, Next song is called Death's Wheel. Very catchy, has a really cool riff in it. It has two completely different, feels to it. In the beginning, it kind of has a sort of a not upbeat. It's sort of a really catchy riff and a really interesting rhythm. Then then the song changes up a bit. Again, it's a song that plays with your expectations. Like it has a rhythm in it. Then you think that's going to be the rhythm for the rest of the song, but then it changes the rhythm to another rhythm that is totally unexpected but very welcomed. And so it's a song that flows very well because it does, even though it changes rhythm and changes style slightly, it works. It flows very well, and it's just a very cool sort of transformative song in terms of the ever changing rhythm, and then it goes back and forth between the two different rhythms as well. But yeah, very good. Um, the next song is called Black Trinity. This one's also really good. Maybe it's slightly lesser than the songs before it, but it's still a really enjoyable listen. I do really like it. And then the next song is called House of Doom. Definitely the most sinister sounding song. Nah, I'd say the most sinister sounding song is Death's Wheel, but House of Doom is probably a close second. It's the most atmospheric. of any of the songs on this album, maybe besides Splendor, Demon, Majesty. Um, it has a very. I know this is doom metal. All of it, all these songs are on this album, and the band in general. But this song, out of any of the songs, sounds the most doom metal. Um, but yeah, it's just a really, really good song. I love the chorus. The chorus of the song is super catchy. Um, but yeah. And then the last song is called The Omega Circle. Another great song that also the rhythm plays with your expectations. It starts off one way, then goes completely, into a different style of rhythm. Then again with that one, then it changes back to the same rhythm as the beginning of the song. Very good. The vocals are amazing as well. The vocals are amazing throughout the entirety of this album, by the way. Um, but yeah, and then the song technically ends. Now the very ending of this album. There's a section at the very end that yes is technically part of the end to the last song, but in my opinion, it sounds more like a separate sort of closer to the album. Like it's very, 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 very short instrumental that pops up at the very end. And the reason why I consider it separate than the end of this last song is because of the way it's represented. Like the song clear cut like the last song at the very end it fades into nothingness, very slowly fades out and then silence for a good couple of seconds, and then slowly but surely this instrumental very short thing starts to fade in, and it stays for a very short time, less than a minute, like maybe 30 seconds or so, or maybe a little bit longer than that. It's really hard to judge because it's something that's short enough to where you can't really off the top of your head time it, but it comes in, it fades in, stays there for a very short while, then slowly fades out, and then the album ends. So that's the reason why I like the very end section. I feel it feels more like a separate sort of closer instrumental, very short, rather than the end to the last song. Because the last song does, feel like it ends before this little bit at the very end of the actual, very, very end of the album. Um, but yeah. So first off, the artwork. The artwork is really, really cool. I love how they didn't, they didn't feel like they had to use a bunch of different colors. It's basically just red, gold, and black. Very simple color palette, but it works very, very well. I really like the artwork here. It's sort of this weird sort of circle with like some kind of like I don't know what the hell's going on in there. Like just like a whole bunch of random like people or something. And then you get this like cross, but like there's this like demon skull sort of like impaled on it. Although all the logic just doesn't make sense the way it's impaled. Like it's impaled not only through that way, but this way as well. So I don't know. Looks very odd. Although it almost seems like it's just two different pieces of whatever of the spikes, and it just so happens to make a cross. But yeah, really really cool. I also love the font that they use. Sort of the old English style medieval font. Love that. Probably my favorite style of font, by the way. I love it. It's really, really cool. And then there's artwork on the back as well. Sort of like these, almost like this sort of entryway to a cemetery, kind of. And then like you have the Grim Reaper there. And then there's actual like art. Hold on, this something not in there right. Okay, there we go. And then you have black and white. This looks like some kind. It doesn't look illustrated. It almost looks like a photoshopped photo, like photoshopped in a way that they like took like a actual photo and then like did some kind of weird sort of black and white a dingy effect afterwards. Um, so overall, very great album. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. There's not a boring song on this album whatsoever. And when I did my update video last time, my music collection update, I said I was surprised that this, was a doom metal album, and because I actually already heard it before then. It's very, very good. Honestly, not really what I was expecting from doom metal, to be honest, because the only really doom metal I've heard besides this is like stuff from like early Black Sabbath and some other stuff from like the very late 70s, early 80s doom metal kind of thing. Didn't really like that stuff, and I just wasn't really into doom metal. But this is really good. If this is how the rest of their albums sound, that's amazing. Like, if this is their signature sound and not just some one-off style, I'm in for this. I'm in for the ride. I want to check out more of these, more of their albums. Um, yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. The production is fantastic. It's absolutely spot on. The instrumentation is great. The atmosphere is so good. And then the vocals. The vocals are really, really good. At times they kind of sound like Dio. Like, his vocals on this one kind of sound like Dio at times. Not full on, but I mean, just the way they are, just the way the vocals are done, just the way, just the way he, sings certain bits here and there, they kind of sound like the way that Ronnie James Dio would, especially later on in his solo career. I love how the vocals are actually kind of diverse. They can range from very whimsical, almost melodic, to just downright intimidating, bellowing presence on certain songs as well. But yeah, overall, a fantastic album, absolute perfection, and it's a 10 out of 10. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.